Welcome back to another episode. I am Donna. This is my husband, Brian. A few months back, we decided that we were going to do a podcast on men's mental health. When we started at the beginning, talking about Brian's story. Brian suffers from depression, anxiety, and panic disorder. For a second, I was going to say dementia. I apologize.
Not in that order.
So we decided to tell his story, how he handles with it, what he does, what he can do, what he can't do, and his life story from the time he was a child to current. Some of the episodes have touched base on different things. None of this is medical advice. We're just telling his story and our opinions, which hence the title, A Couple Opinions. This should probably not be watched with children. It's a lot of sensitive subjects, a lot of adult content, and his language can be slightly on the colorful side. And if you're easily offended, this channel probably is not for you. However, if you do enjoy what you are seeing, please follow and like. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments. We will get back to you. If you're not comfortable doing that, you can always send us an email.
It is in the description.
With that being said, today's topic is going to be a little different. We're still talking about mental health completely, but we're going to go in a different direction. I guess it was last week. No, I'll go back. 2 weeks ago, Brian had some blood work done. And before anyone jumps all over saying this is a violation of HIPAA, it's not. Brian's consenting to all this, and
I'm sitting right here.
I was not part of his treatment plan, so it's not a violation of HIPAA. Just want to clarify that.
So for the two people watching, relax.
He had blood work done, and we got the results, and a few of the levels were kind of concerning. So he had an appointment with his primary.
Well, I mean, if we want to get like technical, we've talked about the blood disorder, right?
Yes.
So it's called polycythemia vera. My hematocrit, if you want to look that up, is supposed to be around 45%. Back in March, it was 49. Mm-hmm. And then 2 weeks ago, it was 39. My hematocrit doesn't drop. It always goes up because of the blood disorder. It's basically my bone marrow just makes too much
Red cells.
Red, white, platelets, all that crap. So that was low, and the hemoglobin had also dropped, which usually, well, I think 100% of the time means you're bleeding somewhere, or you had some blood loss,
Or
you got something else wrong.
or you can be anemic. It happens with severe anemia too, because you're not producing what you're supposed to be producing.
Which from the blood treatments, my blood iron had dropped to 10, and the saturation was at 2%. And I forget what the ferritin was at, but
They didn't do a ferritin this time.
yeah, it's on there.
Oh, I didn't think it was. So we went to his primary on Tuesday, went over to hematology, and after a back and forth with hematology, we got them to run more blood work, and it dropped even a little lower.
The hemoglobin didn't drop, but the hematocrit dropped another 0.6%.
So
Now, I know some people are going to think that, just about 0.5% isn't that big of a deal. But again, my hematocrit should be going up. It should not be dropping.
So unfortunately, Brian has this condition that a lot of people have when they go to a doctor. The doctor starts talking, and all Brian hears is want, 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 want.
Normally, as soon as I never talked to the doctor, first of all. I didn't talk to him until last Thursday. Or
After the second set of blood work, because he told you
right.
that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right,
Yeah.
I talked to him on the phone. We weren't.
Right.
My primary care is the one who said she didn't like the fact that that stuff had dropped. And I was like, well, we're just going to go straight. I didn't have an appointment. We just walked into the office and pissed him off, which I don't care.
So on Thursday, the doctor said I can call and talk to them. Big mistake, because now I'm coming in with questions, and I want them answered. It's short, sweet, to the point. He doesn't. He zones out, which most patients do. It's a normal thing, which is why
He had said something about obviously I need iron. The iron pills are an option, but not for me. So I have to get an iron infusion. And when I heard that, I don't know what he said after that. He could have said I won the lottery, and I don't know.
So the iron pills don't work for him because of the GI issues. GI issues will cause him severe panic. Even the idea of them will cause severe panic.
It's not even that. I mean, it is that, but it's also, they'll take anywhere from 6 to 18 months before you get the optimum results from them, where the infusion will happen
within 48 hours. You'll have, so you're done your infusion by noon. By 2:00, your iron levels are where they should be, if not damn near close. So I called. He didn't call back. I called him again on Friday. I spoke with him, and I'm the type that I will move mountains to advocate for a patient. And if that patient's a loved one, there's not a mountain big enough that I'm not going to move. So me and the doctor talked, and I am brutally honest. It is probably one of my biggest downfalls, I guess people would look at it as. I don't care if I'm going to offend people. And I told the doctor, I was like, I have him looking up stuff that his mind's going in every direction, thinking that he's going to die in 6 weeks. And the doctor's like, no. I said, I get that. Anyone in the medical field.
Well, no, I didn't go that far.
But no, that's, well, yeah, you were asking time-wise. And
no, I was asking, because once your iron hits 0, you're dead.
Your iron, not your iron saturation.
Right, your iron.
Right.
My iron's at 10. Once it hits 7, you start having cognitive issues. Once it hits 5, you are starting to have problems, and you're probably getting close to being hospitalized.
Now, what people need to understand is there are people, and I don't agree with this, but there's people that have certain types of anemia that function at 10 almost all the time. Now, I'm going to go with this before everyone jumps all over me. If you have, and this is the easiest way I can explain it, if you have a diabetic, they function with a sugar of like 200, right? They're diabetic. Their body is used to that. If your sugar gets to 200, you're going to be a zombie. You're going to be exhausted because you're not a diabetic. Your body isn't used to that. So the body can handle certain things, but he's getting effects from it because his body's not used to it.
Yeah, I mean, normal people's iron is supposed to be anywhere from 15 to 25%.
Average is 14, yeah.
And mine's at 10 and dropping. So,
So
before I start going into organ failure and just drop dead at some point.
And I did tell him, we have some things lined up in case of, but we have an appointment with the doctor. In case
of dropping dead?
No. Like, if we don't get work, like, if it's to the point where we're not seeing results that we need to see, there's some other things that we can do to get the ball moving. Like, again, I will move mountains for loved ones.
Right now, we've started to add what food I can eat because I have such a limitation. It's just I went and looked up every iron-rich food that I could eat, so that's what I'm doing now. It may be minimal, but maybe it holds it off from dropping because we couldn't get in until
August 11th.
They're not worried about it. They're still saying I'm not at dangerous levels.
Right.
I do need the iron infusion, but I'm not at dangerous levels, and I would rather not get there.
Right.
So that won't be until about 2 weeks.
So and
that's just a consult. That's not the actual infusion.
I even thought, like, can I MacGyver something? Can I drop iron liquid into his drink? No, because there's a metallic taste. I'll taste it. No, there's not even something that you can MacGyver that, like...
And that'll still go through my digestive system.
And correct, which was why I would not do it. I looked into iron patches. I asked the doctor about that, and he said no. He said there's no proof that they've absorbed enough. And I said, you said the word enough, but if they absorb a little bit, can that help?
Probably better off with just a diet.
And that's what he says. So we're gonna do.
Good. Just today alone. So from this morning and everything, I'm at like 80% of what you should take in as iron. Now, the other problem with that is they have one that's called hema iron and iron.
Which one are you doing?
Well, they're different. Plant-based stuff is hema iron.
Right. That's what I'm asking. Which one are you doing?
Well, obviously, if it's cereals and stuff like that, it's all going to be plant-based.
Okay. Hema iron is better.
That is, your body can absorb it quicker. And if you're going to have other iron, try to have the hema iron with it.
Or ingest vitamin C with it.
And I take the one a day and a Super C. So I am getting more than what my body needs as far as I'm at like close to 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day.
Okay. So, and this is the thing, like, and I was on the computer until like 7 o'clock in the morning looking things up to see what we could do. And his GI issues put us at a little bit of a disadvantage, but that's okay. It's not his fault. It is what it is. Anything that we can do, we will do. Again, when people talk about somebody who has panic disorder, this is something that you have to look at. You have to look at. It's not as simple as saying, for me to say, all right, you need an infusion. All right, schedule it. No big deal.
Yeah, most people, they could have said, well, can you come in now? Okay, drove in and had the infusion. Me, I looked up the procedure, talked to them. They're prepping you for 15 minutes. It takes anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes for the iron infusion. Then you have to sit there for 30 minutes and wait to see if you have any kind of anaphylactic response or any adverse effects. Well, that right there almost killed it for me, even getting the infusion. And as of right now, I'm not on board with it. But Donna's going to figure out a way to get it done.
So it cracks me up when they say you have to wait 30 minutes for the anaphylaxis. It's the same thing, same protocol they're supposed to take with allergy shots, like any type of shot that they give you.
And again, the normal person goes, okay, so you're going to be there about an hour or so. No big deal. For me, an hour, if I'm starting to have anxiety, like that tube's coming out of my arm and I'm leaving, you're not holding me there for 30 minutes. It's just not going to happen. Good luck.
No, realistically.
You better have some big security guards because...
No, realistically, the tube will be out of your arm. The tube will stay in your arm the 30 minutes while they're waiting.
But I'm saying, even if it happens while they're doing it, if it takes them 30 minutes to pump in the 750 mil iron, then it's going to be a problem.
Now, and this is where I say the medical field, it's not black and white. There's a lot of gray area. If you have a patient who's telling you XYZ, you treat them according to their condition and the XYZ. Certain medications are supposed to be pushed at a certain speed. That is not law. It's recommended. If a patient can tolerate it faster, and if you know the patient is anxious, can you give it to them faster? Of course, they do it with potassium all the time.
Well, I also don't want them blowing my arm up either.
Well, and that's the thing. What they do is when they start it, they'll ask you if it's burning.
I don't want them to go be like,
no, not like that. So,
you're good.
Anyone who knows anyone who's gotten a potassium drip, it can irritate a little bit, but not everybody. And if they're not getting it, you can speed up the drip a little bit. But again, treat the patient as a whole. Don't just tunnel vision what is going on with them. And this is what I told the doctor. And again, I'm brutally honest. And I said to the doctor, he has this panic disorder. This stops him from doing a lot of stuff because people don't understand. And I'll be damned if this is going to put him in a grave because it's falling on deaf ears. Like, I reached out to a friend of mine And I asked her, who happens to be a NP, and I said, yo, XYZ. And she's like, well, this is how we normally do it. And she even said it. She goes, I hate to see patients not being treated right because doctors don't want to listen.
And there's also another problem. If I do have adverse effects and not necessarily anaphylactic, if there's any other ones and I need to go back and, because normally you need to go back in 7 days and have another one. Well, if I have those adverse effects,
He won't go back.
I won't be back.
Now, that is one thing I want to get clarified with the doctor. Since you were not born anemic, it was done because of your phlebotomy.
It was done because the other idiots before him, he's been fine. And he said that they were, the other idiot hematologist at the other facility that's now closed, were too aggressive.
Right, but I'm
on
saying
how they were taking how much blood they were taking and how often, and put me into this state.
Can your body bounce back?
You asking me?
That's what. Did he ever say if it could or if it couldn't? At one point, your numbers, when you went a year and a half without phlebotomy, your numbers started coming up.
Well, here's the problem. We don't know why nobody knows why it went from 49 in March to 39. The hematocrit dropped 10%. How did that happen?
That I don't know. And the same thing happened in 2025.
And, well, yeah, but that was literally, it was at a hospital. They did it, and then a week later, it was like 8 or 9 points higher. So that went up, not it was up and then went down.
Right, I understand.
And his only explanation right at the moment is you're bleeding somewhere, whether it's, what do you call it, microscopic?
And he told me that's not what he thought it was.
Then what is it?
He told me he thought it was from the phlebotomy.
But I haven't had phlebotomy.
And that's what I said. I said he hasn't had phlebotomy in months. And he said it could be
I haven't had phlebotomy in 8 or 9 months.
That's what I said to him. And he said it could be.
And how did it go from 42 to 49 to 39?
Because your body was still... So I guess how long your body produces from when... Because...
No, it went up after phlebotomy.
Right, I understand that. Because
and then dropped 10 percentage points in 4 months.
I understand that because your body was still producing it and it still had it stored. Which is why...
Still had what stored?
Your red cells that they still... Your body...
Then it shouldn't have went down.
No, you're not listening. It still had them stored from your last phlebotomy, and now it doesn't because of the anemia setting in. That's.
But I don't. Okay, well, this is where I want to slap a doctor because I'm not anemic. I don't have anemia as a medical condition.
Correct. You have as a side effect of the phlebotomy.
From the phlebotomy, I have the traits of anemia, but I'm not anemic. Except I have every symptom that somebody who has anemia has.
It's called...
It's medically induced anemia.
Yeah, I know. There's another term that they use it for people that have
polycythemia.
Yeah.
But there's still no nobody has a reason of why it dropped 10%. And the they're more worried about the hemoglobin than they are the hematocrit, because that should not have dropped unless you're bleeding. And that dropped 3. That went from 13 point something to 10 point something. Well, now I have another test that I have to do, which we'll just leave out what that test is, because I'm not getting... Well, they want me to do a colonoscopy. I'm not doing it. But they're going to do another test for blood to see if I'm losing it. But I'm like, unless it's microscopic and you can't see it, I'm not losing it. And if that comes back where I'm not, then I have a feeling they're going to have to either do exploratory or PET scans or whatever. Am I internally bleeding?
But it would have to come out one way or another. So it would have to either come out in your stool, your urine.
Not if it's bleeding into your empty cavities.
You would be blowing up, though. Like, the blood has to go somewhere.
Yeah, right. And I'm not bruising. I'm not swelling. I don't, what they call thrombosis or myelinosis and this other osises or whatever they are.
So we're waiting to find out.
The only thing he said that it hasn't done is it hasn't made the jump to leukemia, as far as they can tell.
Right, because your white count would be completely different on that count.
He said if all the other numbers were changed or took nosedives, then I'd be looking at that.
So, and part of me wonders, now they're both using the same lab. Now, the two places that he went to be stuck they were the same lab, but two different sticking stations. But
now the first one only took one tube. The second one took two.
She would have took a lavender tube, and she would have took a speckle top tube, or a red tube, whichever one.
Yeah, I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, I know.
I sit there and talk to them while they're doing it, or I watch them, but I'm not looking at the colors.
Yeah, because the first one they only did the CBC on you. But what I want people to understand is you need to look at the whole patient, and that's what we're doing now. It's like we have to line things up, and it's been a rough couple of days. It's been a rough week.
Yeah, it's been last Sunday going to Strasburg Railroad to Lancaster and all. I was fine until it started to get later in the afternoon or the evening is when I started to, I'll say the evening is when I started to get a little tired and stuff, but I'm pretty sure that was sleep related. But since then, we've tried to go out, like we went out yesterday, I got my hair cut. After one store, I was just wiped out. I was having trouble walking and just.
Now, a lot of it.
Went home and went to sleep within a couple hours, slept 10 hours, got up this morning and slept another 4 hours.
Now, a lot of it, too, could be, and this has been proven, and what happens when somebody tells you? He already has the what-if thinking. His what-if thinking just went into massive overdrive. That is going to be physically exhausting. And people are like, well, why is it physically exhausting? He's not doing anything.
Well,
physically, he's not. Mentally, he is, and that's exhausting.
Yeah, but getting to the top of the steps and being winded or getting up too fast and almost passing out is not me what-if thinking.
No, I understand that.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying on top of it, on top of all that, because nothing significantly in your numbers changed from the week before to today. Well, from the last blood test, which was a week apart. But the fact that now your mind is constantly going on top of how you were already feeling. Before he would get to the top of the steps and he would be winded. That hasn't changed. He was like that before he got these results. We knew that. On top of it now, he's making himself emotionally exhausted, which is going to aspirate the physical exhaustion. Do you understand what I mean?
I mean, I guess.
It's almost like...
But I can feel it coming on to where I'm like, we left one store, went to Hobby Lobby or whatever. I started having problems walking. I wasn't thinking about it. I could just feel. Right. I could just feel it coming on, and it was just like, yeah, I just think I want to go home now.
Right, and what I'm saying though is.
And it was weird because Sunday we went to the Veterans Museum in Media. And we were down there for an hour and a half.
Probably.
At least. And I was fine. The heat also seems to be a problem, which is... I don't know what you want to call it. Contradicts the anemia, because anemia, you shouldn't feel the heat as much as most people. You'll be cold all the time. And I'm not. Like, we came out of the museum, walked down to the car. By the time I got in the car, wasn't feeling all that great. We took a ride to see if this one antique place was open, but they weren't. And then I think we took a ride through like Ridley Creek State Park. We got out. By the time I got back, and then it was just like, yeah, I think I want to go home again. It's like, here it comes again. And it's like, it's been every day where it's just like, ugh, where I just have like no energy at all.
Like I told him.
And I'm fine in the morning. Like when I first wake up, except today. Today was the first one, but I think I may have like overslept, and I also think I fell before I went to sleep, but I'm not 100% on that.
Well, you did fall, you just don't know how.
Well, I could have been taking a nap at the bottom of the steps in the living room.
Not facing that position, that wouldn't have made sense.
Well, anyway.
But I just want you guys to keep in mind how people, when people are dealing with things, it's not just a panic disorder. It's everything that, like everything in their life. You have to take the panic disorder into consideration with everything in their life. And open your mouth and say something, because a lot of times people don't understand. And I'm not giving people excuses, but a lot of times they don't understand because they are not in your head. I've heard people say before, I have panic disorder. Okay. Okay. So what can I do to help? I will be honest, until the first time I saw him have one, I thought it would have been that bad? No. Now, was I able to talk him through it? Well, that and Ativan, yeah. But I mean,
no offense, you're awesome, but I think it was mostly the Ativan.
But you didn't have the Ativan on before I got you back in that hospital bed because you weren't going nowhere. But, and he towers me. I come up to his chest. But I am not somebody to be messed with either. Your appendix said bye, didn't they? Ha.
Well, that wasn't... It was either coming out or I was dying, so...
At that point, though, did you... And I'm not saying this harshly, but at that point, was that even registering to you?
No, I wanted to go home and go to sleep.
Yeah. So, I mean... But you have to understand, and you have to learn how to let the person make the decision themselves. Support them with what they're doing, but don't let them be an ass.
Wait, you just said let them make their own decisions. Mm-hmm. My original decision was I'm not getting the infusion, and then you just said don't let them be an ass. So I'm getting the infusion, one way or the other.
Yeah.
So it's not my choice.
It is your choice.
Wait, what happened to my body? My choice.
You're not a female. Doesn't apply to you. You don't have.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
No, and I say we're joking, but he knows what I mean.
Sort of.
He knows what I mean. I will do anything I can in my power to make sure that it is done the safest way for him.
I have a feeling in a couple of episodes you're going to see he got the injection.
But
infusion, whatever the hell it is.
Would I ever do anything to harm you?
On purpose?
Would I ever let anything be done to you that I think that could harm you?
Oh, you mean from other people?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
From you?
He's not that bright. But he knows I have his best interest at heart. Always have, always will. And, you know, you have to make sure you have an advocate for you. And the advocate doesn't have to be a spouse or a family member. It could be a friend. It could be anybody. Just make sure somebody speaks on your behalf. Because like I said, when the doctor started talking and mentioned infusion, to him, it went silent. He didn't understand another word that the doctor said.
That was the same way when they first diagnosed me with the polycythemia.
It was...
I heard that, and blood cancer, and then everything else out of that doctor's mouth was Charlie Brown's teacher. I got home, and I remember you going, what do you say? And I'm like, I don't know, some kind of blood disorder.
So I called that doctor, and he goes, I figured you'd call. He goes, he didn't understand a word I said. Did he? I said, he just zoned you out. He goes, a lot of people do when you give them something like that. And he talked me through it, and I had questions. And
I'm sure my eyes glazed over and my brain just shut off and didn't want to hear anything else that was going to be said. Because, again, if this is the first episode you've watched, what the fuck are you waiting for? But it's not. It's a blood cancer, but without the chemo and the radiation and all the nasty effects so far. But it's in that family with leukemia.
yeah, it's called a blood cancer because of the mutation it does to the cells.
I only have one of the mutant genes. If I had the other one, then goodbye, Gracie.
No, doesn't mean goodbye, Gracie. It just means it would be leukemia. Well, it would have started off as leukemia.
And we already know what I'm going to do with chemo and radiation.
It's not like it was 20 years ago.
Oh, so they've taken out all the vomiting, diarrhea, and all that stuff?
Yeah, a lot of them now it's one shot weekly, and that's it. Like, you literally, like, you don't go in for the infusions, depending which one you have, yeah.
There's an awful lot of... Well, then maybe they should stop running commercials with people that look like they're gravely ill while they're on chemo and radiation.
It depends. Now, I'll be honest, they usually are the ones that have either lung cancer or breast cancer. But yeah, leukemia and all them, a lot of them aren't quite as horrendous as they used to be. It's come a long way, but I mean...
I'm not doing chemo or radiation.
Look at the wrestler.
Roman Reigns?
Yeah.
Don't know what leukemia he had.
He had...
They're all different.
Acute
Myeliosis?
Yeah. My friend's son, who's a huge fan of his, has the same type of leukemia.
You understand that if mine makes the jump, that's what it'll be.
Yeah, so it's completely treatable. It's what they call remissionable, because it's not curable. Remissionable within 6 months, which is probably why he went and wrestled again.
Yeah, he came back.
Yeah.
He came back and announced he was cancer-free.
Yeah. My girlfriend's son is too, as a matter of fact.
But, again...
This didn't even take 6 months.
Do they have one? They're probably a lot healthier than me because...
Well, he would.
Roman Reigns was.
My girlfriend's son wasn't, no.
But, panic disorder, anxiety, what if
Not to put my girlfriend's son's business out there, but autistic. So yeah, there's a lot of. I'm not saying you're autistic, but a lot of the similarities. Panic, anxiety, yeah. There's a lot.
Obviously, we're not putting any names of who your girlfriend is or anything like that.
But yeah.
But I'm guessing his age was probably under 18.
No.
Okay.
No, he wasn't. So he did have a choice if that's where we were going. Yeah. But.
Well, we'll burn that bridge when we come to it.
Well, hopefully we won't come to it. Ay. But what we're trying to say is, fight for what needs to be done for you or a loved one as a picture in a whole. Like I said, it's been pretty rough for him the last 2 weeks, but he's still moving forward. He did a couple shirts for us before we went to the museum.
Did we just... We went to a car show.
Car show, too. We went to a car show in Chad's Ford.
Was that Saturday?
Yeah.
That was another one that we literally got to I wasn't feeling good on the way to the car show. And then walking around there. Now, today's car shows suck ass. And I only say that because I don't want to see a 2004 Dodge Charger at a car show. Or a 2026 Hellcat. Like, I can go to a dealership and see one of them. I want to see shit from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. But anyway, so that was kind of walk through. And then by the time we left there, we headed home because I wasn't feeling good at all.
Yeah, he was pretty wiped on that one.
I started like trying to figure out the quickest ways to get home because I wasn't feeling good.
But it was crazy because when we got back in the area, we tried the mall, and I think he would have been fine. We tried the escalator, and that just fired it back up.
And I think the problem was
Hit close so it still records.
Well, that's impossible.
What, for you to hit close?
Just keep it going.
Oh.
No, I was feeling pretty good, and I was like, well, let's walk around the mall. And then walking around the mall, I started to feel like shit. And then going up the escalator just...
That did him in.
I don't know what it did, but it really threw me off. And then it was like, well, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
So there'll be plenty of updates over the next few weeks.
Yeah, so any questions or concerns, hit us up. But just keep in mind, always advocate for yourself. And we're just going to keep on moving forward.
We'll keep all three of you viewers updated.
Have a good night, guys. Bye.